Going on, everybody? I am using my new little tablet to do this on, so I'm not quite sure how it's going to look on your side. Um, just wanted to come on for a little while live and have a conversation with everyone. I know you all have been probably wondering where Mary Tagana has been and what's been going on since I haven't had a chance to upload a new blog. And let's see the best way to do this. If I should do it like this. Okay, it says I have to do it this way. Okay, so maybe I should get on. I wonder if I can get on my phone and see the comments. Just a second, guys. Mhm. Okay, on my phone. Excuse me, I'm looking down at my phone, guys. 'Cause this is, like I said, it's going to be new to me this moment. So let's close this, open this, uh, network over another and network over another. So how do turn it down? Hey, hello, welcome in, welcome in. I am just trying to get started. I'm trying to be able to see if I can see the comments on my phone. Just to see how it's going to look. So, sorry. So, welcome to Married to Ghana. This is our first Married to Ghana live, I believe, of the new year. I don't know if we've done one before, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to hold this tablet. Hi, 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 welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm trying to hold the tablet and what's this? Oh, sorry. So I'm trying to hold this tablet and talk at the same time. I should have done this with my phone. Um, so I wanted to come on and just have a minute to talk to you guys and let you guys know updates of what's been going on. And I am trying to be more consistent with everything that we Bright and I put out for you all. We are still in the Married to Ghana original series of me being in Ghana, me moving to Ghana. Ghana is not home. I'm currently in the States right now, but Ghana is still home. The States is still secondary and things of that nature. So let me introduce myself. If you are new to the channel, if you're new to this space, I'm your girl, Rain the Truth. I'm your sister, your auntie, your cousin. I am the Talitha Kumi of 2021. I am the female Lazarus. In August, in 2021, August, around the 29th, I actually died from COVID complications, went to heaven, peeped at hell, and got to come back and talk to you all. On my channel, we talk about intercultural love, intercultural marriage, intercultural relationships, being a part of the LDR community and the LDM community now because I'm married. I am a newlywed. I've been married to my husband, Bright, now a year. Last month made our first year of marriage. December of last year made our first year actually together. So I'm married to a Ghanaian man. I am a Black American woman. And yeah, on my channel, we talk about faith, we talk about life in the diaspora, we talk about being, excuse me, a full time godpreneur. I am a full time freelance, self employed person. I still will work 9 to 5 from here to there whenever God allows me to, but I talk about life as a believer of God. I talk about faith, love, and hustle. So we talk about love, love of yourself, love of your family, love of your spouse. Like I said, intercultural marriage and relationships and all those type of things. So you have to just kind of stick and stay. I want to say thank you to all of the Rainbow Coalition, all of the new Sugar Boots. We are growing and we're growing fast by God's grace and mercy. We are still on the journey to the first 1,000 rainbows, first 1K rainbows. I'm gonna try to put y'all here and see if that'll make it easier. So, yeah, we're on the journey to the first 1,000 subscribers. So please like, subscribe, share, comment. I love, love, love to read your comments. I try to make sure that I answer all of the comments. So please subscribe to the channel. We are going to be having some amazing things. Your girl is still all about, traveling, being safe when you travel for the women that are traveling and things of that nature. I will be going to new places. Bright and I will go when we can go together, and then of course we'll go separate. Um, so many things are happening in the Married to Ghana world. Like I said, the channel is growing, and I'm so grateful for that. Um, we've been growing on TikTok, we've been growing on Instagram, and we've been growing on Facebook. On Facebook on Tuesdays around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is around midnight Ghana time. I tried to do a tea and truth Tuesdays with Rain, where I sip tea and I spill the truth about life abroad, about life, the difference between being in the LDR community and having life abroad and things of that nature. So I talk about that. I talk about life. I share everything. Hi Victor. So this live is just a catch. This live is just about what it's like to be married to someone of a different culture, someone from a different country. I was just going to share some of the things that's been happening behind the scenes as being married to Ghana, because, like I said, I'm a Black American woman who's married to a Ghanaian man. I live most of my life in Ghana. Right now, I'm here in the States. But if you go back on the channel and look at the videos, you'll see, me getting to Ghana for the first time, me leaving the States for the first time, and things of that nature, our marriage and wedding and stuff like that so far. So I wanted to talk about tonight, like just the pros and cons that I've noticed within a year of being married to Ghana. Um, what it's like to go through trials and tribulations as part of the LDR community, which means long distance relationship community, whether it be long distance from state to another state, whether it be long distance from one country to the next. But I just wanted to talk about, from my perspective, what it's like. I want to talk about what it feels like whenever, you know, you have to come back to your home state for whatever reason. And, sometimes you feel like you're missing a part of yourself. I actually feel like I left a part of myself in Ghana. I feel like a shell of myself came back to the States, but I feel like I still, am still in Ghana. Right. And so um I've been getting a lot of questions asked to me on TikTok and on Facebook about, just the differences about things over there, the culture shock I've experienced, and, what made me want to take that step, what made me want to take that leap and things of that nature. So I'll answer some of those questions tonight. But basically, I just wanted to come on and just show my face because it's been since March that I uploaded a vlog. And like I said, my plan is to be very consistent with the channel. My plan is to not leave you guys hanging too long. So I was like, while it's raining outside here in Texas, that I should just come on and just say hi to everybody, let everybody know that everything is okay. But we're going through life, we're going through things. Um, one thing about marriage that I think that social media doesn't allow us to talk about is the good, bad, ugly, and the different. And you know me, if you know anything about me, Rain, I like to be raw, transparent, and uncut. I like to for the most part share the truth about what I'm passing through. You know, social media for me is not just about when it's good and when it's great and when it's fantastic. But I like to share about, you know, when things are not so good. Like for our first anniversary, my husband and I really weren't talking. We were just passing through a rough patch in life. You know, we were passing through a rough patch in our marriage. But we love each other. But sometimes we, you know, in marriage, you're gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have seasonal changes. You're gonna have ins and outs, right? And it's not because of anything that either one of us did wrong. We were just we're growing together. You know, when the Bible speaks about the two becoming one, that takes your whole marriage. It takes your whole life. You're becoming one the whole time you're married. So, becoming one when you're blending together is quite a daunting task. It's not for the weak, right? Just being in a covenant marriage and not a contractual marriage or not a situationship or not just a, you know, fly by night relationship takes a lot of work and ethics. You know, it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of trials and tribulations. So sometimes people don't realize just how much you put into everything. Maybe I need to cover my leg. Okay, so sorry y'all. Um so yeah, we made our first year together in a relationship, and then we had our first year of marriage. And um a lot of people that I've spoken to, the first 1 to 3 years or sometimes 1 to 5 years are the years when you feel like you want to just give up, the time when you feel like you want to throw in a towel. And a lot of people don't discuss that for whatever their reasons are. And I'm not going to discuss everything, but I like to share with people that you can get through it if you want to. It takes the two of you to work for it. You know, it can't be just one sided. The two of you have to be able to communicate. The two of you have to be able to have people, godly counsel. You need to have married couples that have gone through and grown through some of the things that you've gone through. You also have to just be careful about um, who you entertain, you know, who you allow into your marriage, what energy you allow into your marriage, what spiritual warfare you open yourself up for. And a lot of times people don't think about that part. And I want to make sure that, you know, I'm thinking about that part. So um yeah, we had a moment of I myself was like, can I handle this? You know, can we survive this? Did we make the right decision? Did we, you know, pay attention to any maybe that could have possibly been glaring red flags, you know? And also what I love about what we were able to do was that we were able to allow somebody on the outside, especially for me, I was able to allow someone from the outside that has experienced some of the things that I have been able to survive and suffer through and grow through and learn from, who's married and has been married for a long time, but has gone through the separation from their spouse and gone through what their spouse was deployed because their spouse was in the military. So I had someone that has gone through the first year of, you know, getting married to their spouse, but having their spouse having to go, you know, to be deployed somewhere else, you know. So I was able to open myself up, open my heart up to receive outside counseling, outside, you know, just unbiased opinions of hearing both sides of my side and my husband's side, right? So that helped out a lot. So I would say be careful who you allow to be your counsel, but you also should take in counsel. Not only should you take in godly counsel, you should also be going to God for your marriage. You should be opening up the word of God for your marriage. You should be praying for your marriage. Both you and your spouse need to be seeking God for your marriage, because that three core strand is you, your spouse, and God. And only those three people have to have the responsibility to keep your marriage together. And a lot of times, oftentimes, you know, people don't want to share that part of the journey. They want to share how beautiful the wedding was. They want to share how beautiful the reception was. They want to share how beautiful the honeymoon was. They want to share all of the good things, but sometimes we don't often share the rough times, right? And you should be careful if you're a social media person like myself. My husband is not really a social media person, right? He's not. That's not really his journey. That's not really his portion. He's a photographer. He's a graphic designer. But I am the person that God has chosen to be that social media person. I'm that person that's on the camera. He's more behind the scenes of the situation. So I also have to take in consideration, how he's going to feel, how our family's going to feel, how situations are going to look and feel and sound to other people in our family. When you are in an intercultural relationship, when you're in an intercultural marriage, you have to consider, separate from it here in the States or separate from here in the West, you have to consider the whole entire family dynamic when you're going to put things out there, when you're going to be speaking about certain things, because you have to be careful of how it will make the family look, per se, or how it will make you look towards the family, per se, right? So I wanted to make sure that I was really careful and really cautious about how it was going to make my husband feel, how it was going to make my in-laws feel, how it was going to make you all, my audience, feel, like my subscribers, my family. I really love you all, and I'm really very attached to each and every single last one of you. Yes, we don't know each other. Some of us don't know each other, physically know each other, but you guys are my family. You guys are who I wouldn't be Reign the Truth without each and every single last one of you. Whether you be the YouTube family, whether you be the Facebook family, whether you be TikTok family, whether you be Instagram family, you guys are my family. You guys are my sugar boots. You guys are my rainbow coalition. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be considerate of those, I have to be considerate of those things. Um, so I've been kind of away from the camera, and away from posting, uploading blog footage for you guys, which I'll pick it back up in the next couple of days. But we've been getting hit left, front, back, center, right? We've been getting hit with just life. Life has been lifing, on the Married to Ghana front behind the scenes. Like as I'm recording this live or doing this live, my father-in-law is um is fighting for his life. He suffered a stroke, and it's actually at this moment we're praying with him and praying together as a family, and he's fighting for his life. So sometimes, oftentimes, our subscribers will be like, "Hey, what's going on? Where is this person? Where's our person? Where's our video? Where's our upload? Why are we not seeing this person?" But we have real life. We are real people, right? We are not. My stuff is not scripted. My stuff is not made up. My stuff is real life, raw and uncut in the moment. Like as I'm talking to you, my family is going through it, and then I myself have been um, have been surviving medical things. I have medical things in my life that I'm not at the liberty for whatever reasons, with that my husband doesn't want us really to have too much out there. But I am surviving certain medical doctors reports, and we're praying for those doctors reports. We're praying for things that's coming, and soon you'll understand what it is. I will share it because I have vlog footage leading up to what's going on. I have documented some things because I always want my life to be a testimony for other people, especially other women, other sisters that have survived trauma, that have survived some of the things that I've survived in my life, that have gone through some of the near death experiences, or has gone through dying and being resurrected, those type of things, and has gone through and grown through um, being out there in the world and then being saved and then having God come and change your life around and all those type of things. So I want my life to always be a living testimony. Like I heard the young lady from Natural Ghana Girl, aka More Tadella, say on a interview that I watched yesterday. She was saying that she's realized that her vlogs are like a virtual diary for her. So with me, if when I write in my diary, I write exactly how I feel about things in my diary. So with me doing the vlog for you all, it's my, testimony. It's my story to each and every one of you. It's my way of showing you all that, if I can help one person with my life, if I can help one person with my testimony, if I can help one person with my marriage, with my journey, with how Brian and I are working and navigating this diaspora type of intercultural type of relationship and marriage and life, then I'm doing my due diligence. My ministry is to help other people. What are the points below my eyes? Those are my moles, my birthmarks. I have freckles as well as I have moles on my face. They are my heritage. I get the bigger ones from my father, and I have freckles from my mother. They are part of my heritage. I lost my train of thought. Darn it. So yeah, so right now my father-in-law is going through his health issue. I've had my health issues. No, I do have tattoos. I have tattoos everywhere. I have tattoos on my arm. I have tattoos on my chest. Yes, when I this one right here, this bigger one, when I first got it, and these two right here, people thought that they were the teardrops, from being gang affiliate. I'm no longer gang affiliated. For the army of the Lord now, right? But when I used to be, out there in the streets, you know, um, everybody used to think that I had the teardrop. My favorite tattoo, um, would probably be my Winnie the Pooh. This is supposed to be Disney's hand, but it's actually the young guy um that actually did the tattoo for me. That's his hand holding the paintbrush, just like as if you painted the characters on my arm. And I actually need to add some more because each one of these characters represents um, a family member of mine. You said that you're a part of the what again? Hold on, sorry. Let me get this. Okay. Speranza Locos. I was a five deuce hoover. Yeah. But then God came and saved me. Well, why? Why are you doing that? Are y'all at war? Oh wow. Okay. Um, it's a video game. Oh, oh, so it's like GTA, but different, or Call of Duty, something like that. I apologize. I haven't been a gamer in years. Okay, okay. I haven't been a gamer yet. My brother was more the gamer out of my two out of me and my brother on my mom's side. He was more the gamer. I was not really a gamer. I was more into nerd type things. So I was always reading books and things of that nature. So I didn't. I apologize for being. I was like, why? Why are y'all fighting? Like, Lord, do I need to start praying? Like, do I need to start praying? Like, okay. Okay. I don't know if you would have some of them on this live because, like I said, most of my people are not related with gaming that I know of. We are talking about being a part of the diaspora, being a part of, Americans or UK people from the UK or stuff like that that move to other places and get married to other cultures, things like that. I don't know if that will help you or not, but okay. All right. So yeah, so like I said, we're going through mental situation, not mental, forgive me. Well, yeah, I guess you can say mental situations because, it's hard to have a family member, especially a parent, who's fighting for their lives for whatever reason, especially when you are a believer of Christ Jesus and, a believer of God and stuff like that. And you want to make sure that you apply faith and your prayers and things of that nature to every single thing that you pass through in life. So, to watch your family members, to watch your parents, get older, to watch your own self or your children or whatever have to go and grow through certain situations, it can be quite nerve wracking. So we are praying that God will allow his miraculous power to be rained down on my father-in-law, on our family. We are praying for better doctor's reports when I go back to the doctor soon. And yeah, all these good things. So, um, the Faith, Love, and Hustle channel that we have will be cranking up. I'm praying within the next 2 weeks I'll be able to really focus on getting that up and running. I want to be able to have other guests come on. I probably would have to do it virtually until I can get to a place where I can set up things and stuff like that. So, um, what else? What else? Um, I think that I am going to be putting um counseling on the back burner. I have been, having my own um life coaching for women and young girls who have survived different types of trauma in their life to get their voices back, to dare to be their true royal selves and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to be putting that on the back burner. I think God is calling me to a different section of ministry and counseling. I am going to be trying to do more of the content. I'm going to be trying to do more travel content and stuff like that really soon. I think that I've noticed a trend with you all. I think you all like more of the Ghana footage. I think you like more of the travel footage more than anything. So I'm going to be trying to create more travel footage for you all, more travel vlog and content for you all. It seems like those are the ones that have the most content, the most interactions, and things of that nature. I do believe that I know that YouTube is more of who I have more of a heart for my YouTube people, even though you are my smaller group. I just love YouTube more. It just gives me a lot more peace. Even though it like my girl Sasha from Flaws of Couture says, it takes a lot of work to get a video edited and uploaded for you guys. But it keeps me grounded. It keeps me on track. It gives me a sense of purpose to, share my life with you in a way to share my, my journey to, you know, have everything set up in Ghana, my journey to, become the dual citizen and things of that nature. Um, the journey to becoming the woman of God that God is calling me to be. All of these things come into play, and I just can't wait to share it as much as I can with you all. Of course, I need to keep some of my life to myself, um, but I just can't wait to just enjoy the journey with you and stuff like that. But gosh, I really didn't have too much to say tonight. I just really wanted to come on and let you guys see my face because I haven't posted since March. I'm supposed to post for you all every Saturday. So today was Saturday, and like I said, it's raining here in the state. Instead of me posting a blog, let me do a live, so you guys can ask me questions. You guys can talk back to me. I really love and one thing I love about TikTok is that when you go live, you can talk back and forth to each other. And I also like that on here. A lot of times I do it with StreamYard, but now, I know I can do it with my tablet. So maybe it'll be easier for me to do it like that. I think maybe the Faith, Love, and Hustle um, channel uploads will be live versus recorded podcast like thing. Maybe I'll go live on there. Maybe I can do a live a month here on Married to Ghana on the Married to Ghana channel. We'll see how it goes. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that y'all would like me to do a live once a month and give you 3 uploads and then a live? Would y'all like that? Um, I know that I'm going to be starting to learn how to cook some of the meals that my husband likes. Like he loves banku, he loves kenke, he loves the pepper sauce, he loves wache. Um, he likes some of the soups, but he likes more heavier things. So I know I will start to cook some of the things that I know he likes on the channel. So you'll see me cooking some days. But what do you think? Do you think you guys would like to see one live a month, or do you want just vlogs? Um, I wish he was around so that he can be on the live with me. I could have added him to the live, but he's busy working. He's been working a little bit more lately. He's been driving a lot. We do have our transportation part of our business open. If you're in the if you're in the greater Accra region area, or you're going to be flying into Kotoka Airport, we can help you get from the Kotoka Airport to your Airbnb, to your accommodations. We also do rides to the slave castles, to Cape Coast, to Aburi, all over. You just have to let us know. So um, you can reach out to me if you go on the um gosh, my man went blank. If you go on to the one of the blog uploads, you should be able to see the information there. And I think I have it somewhere around here. Maybe I can add it to this live after I end it or whatever. Put it in the comments for you guys. I wish I could do it with my phone, but it's not letting me do anything. It's just letting me watch. It's just letting me watch. So I have to learn how to work it more. I have to learn how to do multitasking here. But like I said, I just wanted to come on and share some updates. I should be going back to Ghana probably by the end of this year. Um, I know we are on the hunt for the best place. So we're on the hunt for our new place until we build. So that's one thing that we're working on. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be just rambling. Like I said, I was really just trying to come on. I see that it's been a month since I've been live, but it was the live for the Faith, Love, and Hustle. Um, it was for the Faith, Love, and Hustle page. Guys, I need to get better with this. I don't even know why I do the lives all the time because it doesn't seem like you guys like them too much. I think you would prefer the vlogs. Maybe because I don't do them on here as much as I should. Maybe if people get used to me doing it. Oh, thank you, Free Girly Girl. I'm just seeing your message from your comment from 8 days ago. Thank you so much. If you see this live, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, I wanted to share some of the things that I learned. Like, I think only culture shock I had that I can remember now within the first year was just uh, how engulfed the family dynamic is. How you have to be willing to see your in-law family more as a safe place versus seeing them as your enemy. And I think it really has to do with how you come into the family, how you all start off. And I'm grateful for the fact that we had a solid beginning with each other. And I'm grateful for the fact that I stayed in Ghana for 6 months. And really should have stayed there longer. But I was grateful that I stayed in Ghana for 6 months and really got to understand and really got to know and really got to feel the heart of my in-laws. That doesn't mean that everything is always roses and daffodils. We still bump heads with each other. We're still learning each other. We're still growing together as a family. But I understood a lot more by spending time with them than I did if I would have just had to go on there like got married and came right back and stuff like that. So I'm grateful for that because now that we're going through this trying time that we're passing through as a family, it has helped me so much to not take certain things to heart, not take certain things for granted, not look at things a certain type of way. Um, it actually made me want to make sure that I let them know hey, even though I'm back in the States, we're still family. We're still one. We're still all unified together. We're gonna pray and fight through this thing together. I'm not just married to your son. I'm married. I accept my whole entire family. Good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. That's one of the cultural things that wasn't so much of a shock for me, but it was something I had to make sure that I grabbed a hold to and make sure that I let them know that, my father-in-law is not fighting for his life. He's my father. I now got blessed with to have right now three fathers. I have my early birth father. I have my stepfather, which I call him Papa Doc. He's not my stepfather. He's my second father. And now I have my third father, my father-in-law. So, and I have, of course, the ultimate father, God, right? So, I'm all surrounded, I'm all protected, so I feel like I had to let them know, hey, I'm here with you. You all are my family and I love you all and we're in this together. So I think that that's a cultural thing that wasn't so much of a shock, but I just didn't realize just how serious it was, how in depth it can be, and how far it goes. Um, I think that if I had to have something that was a culture shock, I think like I've said it on TikTok before, the the severity and the depth of, excuse me, Ghana being cash and carry. So like here in the States, if you want to get a house or get a rental apartment or a rental place, you go and you look at the place, you fill out the application, you put down an app fee, and you put down a deposit if you want to hold it. Whereas in Ghana, when you go to look for residentials and rentals and stuff like that, you're gonna pay the agent fee to go take you to the residence or to the apartment or whatever. And then if you want that apartment, you have to pretty much put money down. You have to pay for it right then. Um, Also, I had heard about it in higher research that they pay your rent up front for a year or 2 years, whereas here in the States you pay that first month move in and maybe it's like a prorated amount after you pay your deposit or whatever. Um, the hospital systems over there, now the cultural shock as with my father-in-law, going through the things that he's going through right now with his health and having suffered a stroke. Here in the States, we can take our loved one to the emergency room, and if they're in a critical situation like a stroke, then they automatically get to have care, and figure out how to pay it later. Either your insurance kicks in, or you kind of have time to pay it as you go. You kind of get billed later, but they give you the things to save your life. Whereas in Ghana is cash and carry all the way across the board. So in order for my father-in-law to go to the hospital, we have to pay for him to go to the hospital right when he goes. Like to get a CT scan, like my husband was telling me last night, the CT scan costs $300, which is around 3,000 Ghana Cedis just for the CT scan to make sure that my father-in-law's brain is okay. But if you don't have that money, then your loved one is basically under the full mercy and care and concern of God. And that's it. Like we have to pray and ask God to heal, deliver, and set him free, and restore him back to complete health. Whereas, it's like a rolling dice almost. So I think that now in the thick of this situation with my family over there, the way money plays a part, um, truly money talks and BS runs a marathon. That's one thing that is the culture shock. The amount of how important it is to have um, financial means just for simple something like a stroke. Just for simple going to check your teeth. You have to pay for your teeth scans. You have to pay for you have to pay like right then. There's no like it's not too much you can find. Hey, let me get 6 months worth of rent, or let me get X amount of things and let me pay it, next week. No, you need to be paying the money right then. You need to be prepared to pay the money right then. So I think that would be a culture shock that I picked up on, was just how cash and carry Ghana is. Also, I think I didn't take into consideration in the beginning how fast you chop the money there, like how fast your money goes. Yeah, it's you get a lot of more for your US dollar or your Canadian dollar or your UK dollar, but if you don't plan properly and you don't have your mind right on what type of lifestyle you want to live and put your money to that type of lifestyle, then you can run out of money quickly. You can find yourself having to tuck your tail and run back, which is kind of what happened. I had to come back to the States so that I could try to make more money so that I can make sure that he and I are set up right. You know what I'm saying? So not only immigration is like, I not only have to make sure that I have a certain amount of income for him to be able to even get the spousal visa done, but I also have to make sure that we have enough income to take care of the household over there, especially with the travel ban going on. So I think that I didn't take into consideration the plan B, plan C, plan D that you need to have and be prepared for just in case something goes wrong. So I think that that was something that I learned within this year was just um how it can seem like if your person is not a scamming type of person, how it can seem like the financial thing can be a big thing because Ghana is such a cash and carry place. You need to be able to have, your USD flowing in while you're getting your CDs together. Because if you're going to be there a long time, if you're going to actually, like for me, I want to actually live in Ghana. Like, Ghana is home. I'm gonna always have, I'm gonna always have America, Texas, Louisiana as my base, my foundation. But Ghana is home now. Where my husband is, that's where I need to be, right? So, in order to be able to do that, I need to be able to have a business there in Ghana that's going to bring me C's, but I also need to be able to back it with USD, if that makes sense. So I think when it comes down to the things that I'm learning is that I need to put into place how USD is going to flow in while USD still has the power that it has so that it can help me safeguard myself while I'm trying to get things set up to make CDs, right? Because the thing is, how Ghana gets its power is for Ghana to be able to have its dollar worth something so that people won't have to be separating from their person. People won't have to be separating from their country, trying to take chances to go to other countries to get things that's going to help them sustain themselves. Because really and truly, 98% of the time, if you ask a Ghanaian or you ask a Nigerian or you ask a Senegalese person or you ask somebody, from Africa, one of the countries in Africa, that why they want to risk it all. They really want to be in their home countries, right? But they have to be willing to take. They want to take care of their families, and right now they have to be able to come to the West to get money to take care of their families for the most part, right? So what I'm learning is that if I want to really go and be a part of the change, as an expat, as a repat, as a wife to a Ghanaian man, I want to be able to live like a local. I want to be able to help grow the economy. I want to do my part to add and not be taken away. I don't want to be just a part of the fad. I didn't do this for the trend. I didn't do this for the fad. I did this because God said that this is my person. I did this because God said that when, as a little girl, God said, you're going to live in Africa. You're going to do ministry and mission in Africa. So it just so happened that the person that God had in store for me is from Africa, which is part of my actual heritage. It's a part of my actual paternal DNA, 22%, right? So, what I learned this past year being married to Ghana is that you have to take in consideration that this is a cash and carry place. It's not like the States. It's not like the UK where things is on credit, right? So you have to make sure that you plan correctly for the for the most part. You need to make sure you plan correctly. I'm not saying that you can do it without having proper planning, but I would not advise it. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it like I did with only 2,000 US dollars at the time, right? More money came in, but when I actually flew and left everybody behind that I knew, I only had a little under 2,000 US dollars, right? So now I understand why my husband would say certain things, why he would laugh at me. I'm a dreamer and my husband's a realist. and we balance each other out. But a lot of times I would get perturbed. I would get upset with him. Like, why are you laughing? Like, how is that funny? Why folk come? He would be laughing because he would be like, babe, you don't understand that that's not how it goes over here. That's not, I mean, I understand what you want to do. I understand that that's the dream that you have. I understand that's the plan that you have, but you have to understand, listen to me. This is my country. This is where I'm from. That's just like if I try to go to the States and try to say I'm gonna do something, you're gonna be like, no, boo, that's not how you go. He was like, but listen to me. I want you to do everything that you want to do. I want you to succeed. But you have to understand that if you're going to do that, you have to have a plan. So once I was over there and had been over there for some months, but I still didn't really get why he would be laughing at me. And I would be like, stop laughing. This is something that God has shown me, as a dreamer. I believe if I have a dream about it and I keep having a dream about it and God keeps telling it to me, that I know that it's going to happen. I have to do the things that I need to do to make it happen. And he'll be like, no, you're taking it the wrong way. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the fact that, you know, I can see and feel that you believe this. And I know I know you well enough to know that when you have a certain vision and when you have a certain dream and you do it, it comes to pass. He was like, but I just want to make sure that I safeguard you. It's my job to protect you. So I'll be like, okay, I get it. So yeah, I think that was something that I learned the most. I also just learned about myself that I really don't like being separated from my person. And um the LDR and LDM community has a lot of separation. And I didn't take into consideration just how it really was going to affect me. At the beginning of the live, I said I felt like I left 85% of myself in Ghana. When I had to come back to the States, I left most of all of myself in Ghana, and I feel like the shell of myself here. The peace and the joy and um the food, as me being more of a plant eater, I still from time to time eat meat. Don't judge me, judge your mama. Okay. I still from time to time eat meat, but for the most part, I eat plants. I eat fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. So to have food that doesn't have all of this extra stuff that they're killing us with here in the States, over there, just to have my better half, my husband over there, to have, my new family over there, to have my new church over there. I didn't realize just how hard it was going to be to be separated from that what we created there, and it has been hard. Um, it has been hard. So I just have to make sure that I put things into effect to make it to where it's going to be easier on me. And I will show you those things. I will show you as I upload the rest of the Married to Donna married series and everything like that. The first couple of months and first year or whatever, I'm going to be documenting the most of it as I can, for you guys to see, what it was like. And I want to make sure that I share that part with you. I want to be sharing this journey with you, as we go and grow, right? Um, Sorry, I had a comment from free girly girl that I was trying to answer and talk at the same time. Sorry, I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time today for some strange reason. Um, but yeah, so the money thing was one thing. Um, the family thing was another thing. The hospital system was one thing that I learned, and now I that wasn't so much of a culture shock, but it was just different. Um, Being called a brony and I'm a Black American, was one thing that I had to get used to. If you go back and look at my vlogs, and I start to tell my husband all the time, "Am I a unicorn?" The way people would be looking at me because I'm a pretty thickalicious young lady. I'm 5'11" and a half and just tall. And I'm not a little slim thing. I'm a little juicy but juicy thing, right? Um, my husband and I would be walking in like in the Achimota Mall or whatever, and or walking through the market or something like that, and people would just stop in their tracks and be looking. We could be in the shop right inside of Achimota Mall, and the people would just be looking. I would be like, I'm like, babe, am I a unicorn? Like, why folk come and looking at me like this? Like, what is it? And he was like, they can just tell. They can just tell that you're not from here. It doesn't mean anything. Like, don't take it. But when they would be calling me a brony, and I'm like, I know a brony means, our Caucasian sisters and brothers. They normally call, them a brony, but my husband was like, no. Here in Ghana, a brony is anybody that's really not from here, right? Or has a lighter tone skin. And I'm like, don't call me a brony, black girl. But then probably after like the second, third time, I just started laughing at it, and I just took it for what it was. Um, I think what I want to make sure that I do when I do get back home to Ghana is I want to make sure that not so much do the tourism type things. I want to make sure that I don't just get confined to one area. And I think that while I was there for the 6 months, we went to different areas of part of the greater Accra region. But I want to be able to go out. I want to go to Kumasi. I want to go to Kaswa. I want to go to Abiri. I want to go to all of the different, areas, eastern, northern, areas of Ghana. I want to see the fullness of Ghana. I want to be able to pick and choose the place that I want to set my roots up. You know, my husband's probably not gonna like it, but it's true. I want to make sure that we pick a good place for our family. We pick a good place for our ministry. We follow what God is saying. So even if we stay, like on the outskirts of, I love Odemase. I love Mase. I love Power Cool Estates. I love Tantra Hills because everything is right there. I love Achimota. I love Moss 7. I love those areas. I love Oberlin. So we'll see. We'll see what God says. But I want to also make sure that it doesn't have to be like just all in. I don't think I want to be in Osu. I don't know if I want to be in Continents. I don't know. I want to be kind of like on the outside, not so much worried about the inside. No bug, go somewhere. I want I got a little fly that came in when I was coming in from next door. Um, I want to be on the outskirts. I want to have something simple, but I want us to be able to build as we go. Yeah. So, but I think when I get back this time, I just want to make sure that I spend more time doing some of the touristy things. I want to be able to share that with you guys. This time when last year when I went to try to just see if it was something that I could do, which I already figured I could do it because I'm a country girl. Like if I was to go show you where I am right now, where I grew up and how I was raised was as if I'm living in the village of any African place because it's the country. I'm a country girl. So, we grew our own crops, we live on farmland, it's quiet, it's peaceful, we can hang our clothes out on the line if we want to. So it was easy for me to adjust and adapt to that type of environment. So, but I think that this time I want to experience, even though I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, okay, of God, right? Because Christianity is something that's not, it's, I believe in Christ Jesus. I believe in God Almighty. I believe in the Holy Ghost, okay? But I'm more of a believer. I'm a God girl, okay? Point blank and period. But I want to experience what Bella Freak is like. I want to experience Sandbox. I want to use my girl Sasha, aka Flaws of Couture. I want to use her Ghana God. And I want to go to Coco Eats. Like I want to go to Sandbox. I want to go to Rose Garden. I want to go to Bella Freak. I want to go to these different places and experience it and share it with you all. I want to go to the Kwame center. I want to go to the slave castles. I want to go to Aqua Safari. I want to go to Float. I want to go to the Botanical Gardens in Bury. I want to go to all of these different places, right? I also am going to be going to Nigeria. I am going to be going to Uganda. I'm going to go to Kenya. I'm going to go to all of the places that I have supposed to been going for the past 5 years now, right? And of course, I'm going to take you guys along with me. So, I had somebody ask me, did the stigma of, oh, he's only with you for his papers, those type of things bother me. Um if I was to say I never ever thought about it, that would be a lie. I think we just all think about it. But I wanted to make sure that this time I did. This time, like all the other times, I did my due diligence. I have had some small scamming in my past. I've had a young gentleman actually from Ghana who was trying to call himself wanting to be my person, and all the while, come to find out, he had been talking to my cousin and had been knowing my cousin before he even met me. I think he actually found me through my cousin. I have had instances where people have tried to think that they can run a G on a G. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to move myself around here. So I think that it just, but I've always been the type to where Rain does pretty much what Rain wants to do. For the most part, I do try to seek God on it even now more than I used to. But if God gives me the green light, then I normally do it. If it keeps coming to my heart, if it keeps coming to my spirit, then I pretty much do it. I really don't kind of fit the status quo of how people feel like I should be or what people feel like I should do. I just always have been that way. So when it came to Bright and I getting together and he just happened to be where God was already sending me in that moment. It just added a little extra icing on the cake, but the cake was already baked and glazed and buttered, and finna be put on the cake plate, right? But to have him, I'm not going to lie, it was beautiful to have him as my just tour guide, as my safe place, as my protection. Um, and yeah, I think that I'm kind of strange when it comes down to that too. That I know he wants to come here so that he can be able to take care of me and our children and our family. Him being the only boy child in his family, I understand the culture when it comes down to that. I understand, the weight of responsibilities that's on his shoulders. I understand. Um, he just has a lot of responsibilities that he's responsible for. And if him being able to come into the States is going to help him be able to set not only our family and our future up, but actually help our family, then why wouldn't I want to do that? And also, I want my father to be able to hug his son-in-law. I want my mother to be able to hug her son-in-law, cook for her son-in-law, pamper her son-in-law. I want my stepfather to be able to meet his son-in-law. I want my aunts and my uncles, the people that are just important to me. I want them to be able to meet their nephew. I want them to be able to meet their brother-in-law. I want them to be able to meet their uncle. Whatever. Um, I was able to meet his people, he's in, his important people, so I want him to be able to experience that too. I want him to be able to experience, hey, I'm married to this Black American woman. Therefore, my family now expands across borders. I want him to be able to experience that. I want to be able to see the pride on his face when, he's able to get his first job here, when he's able to make his first $100 US, when he's able to make his first $1,000 US, when he's able to make his first $10,000 US, and so on and so forth, right? Um, I want to experience what that feels like, and I want to allow God to bless us in that way to be able to, help him fulfill that dream, right? So I don't really let that get to me. I do know that it is a real thing, and I do know that this travel ban has exposed a lot of that situation lately. Um, but when we have disagreements, like heavy, serious disagreements, that is not just the first thing that pops into my mind. I do recall having moments where I'll be like, well, is this what it is? You know, I'll ask God, is this what it is? I even ask him is what it is, but for the most part, I don't really just feel like that. I don't really just feel like that's an issue. But anyway, I'm rambling. Um, I don't want to make this live too long. Like I said, I just wanted to come on and just let you guys see my face, just share some things going on. There are some big things coming up. You have to stick and say, please like, subscribe, share, comment, hit your notification bell so that you can be notified every time we post and upload. I believe that tonight maybe I'll sit down and edit some vlog footage for you guys for the next couple of weeks. Please, if you are a prayer, if you are a believer in God, please pray for our family. Please pray for my father-in-law. Please pray for our immigration things to come through. Please, let's pray for this travel ban to be lifted. Let's pray for all of the people who have their loved ones fighting this war that we have going on, that it's ultimately ridiculous, but God's word has to be fulfilled. This war is something that it has been prophesied in the word of God for a while. So, yeah, I just, like I said, I don't want to be on here too long, but um, I have learned a lot in this first year of being married to Ghana. I have grown a lot in this first year of being married to Ghana. I am grateful now that we've come through the thick of this separation that he and I had. The wiser, the stronger. Um, I'm grateful for the fact that God is in the midst of our covenant. I'm grateful for the fact that I have this covenant marriage with this particular Ghanaian man. They're not all the same at all. But I'm grateful, and I'm grateful for every single last one of you all. I'm grateful for all of the love that you all have been showing Bright and I. I'm grateful for how you all are growing here on YouTube. Hey, we have 266 subscribers, okay? And I'm grateful for you all. I know some people might say, girl, 266, that ain't nothing, but to me, I love the small stuff. I don't know what kind of net that was. He was like a little net UFO. But anyway, I love the small victories. I love the fact that I've been doing this for almost 10 years. I've been doing social media, like content creating, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and all that for almost 10 years. And I remember for the longest, I had 7 subscribers on YouTube. For the longest, we had 40 people 40 subscribers on YouTube. And in just this last year alone, we have gone from 40 something subscribers to now 266 subscribers. So I'm grateful to God for that. We have gone from a few, maybe 15, 20, 30 views to now 20,000 some odd views. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for every single second, minute, hour, day that you all click on anything that has anything to do with Reign the Truth, anything to do with Married to Ghana, anything to Faith, Love, and Hustle, anything to do with Tea and Truth Tuesdays on Facebook Live. Anything that you see your girl on, I'm grateful for every single last one of you all. Let me tell you something. When you line yourself up with God, when you allow God to navigate your way, when you put your faith and trust and everything into God, honey, God will see you through. I don't want anything, and I do mean anything, in this season that God does not want me to have. I do not want to make a move without God. I just do not want to do it because I've tried that all the other stuff and it ended up crashing and burning, or it just don't work. And I want what God wants it to have. I want our tribe and our Rainbow Coalition and our channel to be a place where you can go and just have some hope, just have some faith, just have some laugh, just have some time to cry sometimes, just have somebody to say, hey, I see you. I understand. I've been there and I love you. Somebody loves you. Like that Patti LaBelle song says, somebody loves you, baby. And that's just what it is. And you know who it is. It's your girl, Rain. The truth. I love every single last one of you all like a fat kid of cake. And the girl, Rain, loves all cake with buttercream lights on CD. So, anyway, we are growing. We're going higher, higher, and higher. Soon I will be back in Ghana. Of course, you will know because I'll take you guys with us. Um, I think that we will do the first Ghana tour, Aquaba Ghana tour, 2027, October 2027. Um, because this year I think it's just gonna be me trying to get things, us trying to get things settled, us trying to get things, going. And like I said, it's so many things that's coming. You guys just have to stick and stay. So please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I do read all of your comments. I love, love, love communicating with you guys. I love talking to you guys. I love reading your comments. If you have any questions, if it's something that you want to see me do on the channel, somewhere here in the States, if you're from across the water and you want to see me go and take you to, please say it and I will try to see how we can make that work for you guys. Um if you want to see me cook something, hey, say I want to see you try to cook this or whatever. Um if you want Bright and I to do an episode together, it'll probably be when I'm around him, because of the way that the internet connection is. I probably have to wait until I'm in Ghana for us to do that. But I do want us to have a sit down after the year and talk about his side of everything. You're always hearing my side, but we did talk about it briefly. So I'll try to see if I can get him on here. But yeah, I don't want it to be too long here on live. I just wanted to come on and let you guys see my face. I wanted to share some of what's going on. Some stuff I can't even share with you because it's going to be on the vlog, so you're going to have to watch the vlog in order to know what's going on. Um, but I'm praying for every last one of you all. I pray that God opens up so many wonderful doors for you in this season. I pray that God shines His love and showers you with so much peace and joy and happiness and strength in this season. I pray that you get a lot of your desires fulfilled in this season. I pray you go for everything that the enemy has tried to keep you from in the season. So yeah, I think that's it. Because like I said, I'm just rambling. And I don't want this to be too long. But I love y'all like a fat kid. Okay. Hey, listen. This is your girl, Rain the Truth. This is married to Ghana. Um, Happy Resurrection Sunday. For those who are already in the Resurrection Sunday, happy Resurrection Weekend. Happy Resurrection Week. Hey, take God with you everywhere you go. And if you can't take him, maybe that's when white will come. Maybe you need to have several seats, or maybe you shouldn't go. Say you did. Let's make sure we give each other a little bit of love, and a little bit more love. If we give each other love, we can save and change our society and our culture. We can save and change our children and our community. We can save and change our world. We can make it great again. I gotta go. I love y'all. Do something, Ruth. I love y'all. And I gotta go. Bye. See you later. Well, can I end it now? Do I know how to? So yeah, I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. Uh, I tell you, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, Jesus. Okay. Okay.